Yo, what's good, guys? It's Austin here, or Luna. Today's story time is a pretty serious one. I was reading my comments of that video a couple days ago where I was talking about some pretty serious stuff, and a lot of people in the comments were like, dude, more serious story times. So I'll tell another one that's a little bit similar, but much more serious, I would say. So I hope you enjoy it. Leave a like on the video if you do, and let's get into it. So today's story time all starts off back in 2018. Now, at this point, I was pretty much using Discord only. I remember back in 2016 and 17, Skype was a big thing. And at this point, everyone had switched over to Discord. If you have a Discord, by the way, I have a server. I'll put it in the description if you want to come hang out. I'm in there pretty frequently. But that is besides the point, okay? At the time, in 2018, I had a private server, right? So it was like just me and my closest homies. And one night in 2018, I was sitting in that server with my friends, like four of my friends. We were playing some CSGO, just like any other day, right? Like any other night. We were just having a good time playing some CSGO, chilling. And my one buddy, let's call him Jared, that was in the call. Jared wanted to invite his friend to play CS with us, and he wasn't in my server. And since it was a private server, it was just for really close friends, I didn't want to invite him into that one. So he said, hey, let's all go to his server, because he said we could all join. So we all got invited to this server, right? We all joined. And when we get in there, there is literally like 150 people in here, right? And he's not some like YouTuber, he's not some streamer. This guy that we were going to play with was just a mutual friend of Jared's, and he just had a lot of friends, I guess, or like a lot of people online. I don't know, right? But he was not a streamer or a YouTuber. I looked into him. And yeah, we get in this VC, and there's probably like 20 people in there, like in the VC alone. So there's probably like 150 people in the server itself, and then 20 in the VC. And it's just overwhelming. Like trying to play a CS game with like 15 other people on the call, other than your team, screaming in your ear about other stuff is not very good. It's not fun. But that's besides the point. That's really the least of my worries in this story time, okay? So when we all got in that server, and we started playing CS with Jared's friend, like I said, there's all these other people in there screaming over each other, talking about random stuff. And I was kind of just tuning it out. Like, we're playing a comp match, trying to just chill. I really wanted to go into a different channel, but I didn't want to be that guy out of all the people to be like, hey guys, can we leave? Like, this is too much. Like, no one else was saying anything, so I just shut up and dealt with it. For the most part, I was tuning everybody out. I had some music cranking in my ears, just kind of just chilling, right? And while we're playing CSGO, I get a message on Discord from Jared. And it says, yo, are you hearing this? So I turn my music down, and I start listening. And I realize it's kind of oddly quiet in the Discord now, right? Like, there's not a lot of voices talking at once. It's mainly this one guy's voice. And it's not the guy that we're playing CSGO with. It's some friend of his. And he's saying some really concerning shit. Like, when I turned the music down, the first thing I heard was, why does it matter anyway? What do you all care? You're all just a bunch of online friends. What are you going to fucking do about it? That's all I heard, right? And I'm like, what the hell? Like, this sounds like kind of serious. Like, it sounds like he's, talking about like doing something bad. And I keep listening. And the more and more I listen, the more and more I realize he's alluding to hurting himself. Like, he's alluding to doing something that nobody should do. And I kind of like lock in for a second. And I'm like, holy shit, someone needs to say something, because no one was saying anything, which was really odd. So I spoke up and I was like, hey, I know you don't know me, but like, don't talk like that, man. Like, people in here care about you. People in your real life care about you. And he immediately interrupts me, right? And he's like, who the fuck are you? And honestly, I just shut up, because I was like, you know what? Maybe he just needs someone that he actually knows to speak up, and I'm not that guy. So I shut up, and luckily somebody else spoke up. Someone else in the Discord that wasn't talking previously spoke up, and he's like, dude, what he just said was true. Like, we all care about you, man. Like, you can't talk like this. And then as this guy's talking, the other guy puts his camera on, the one that was saying all the concerning stuff about hurting himself and stuff. He put his camera on. And while his friend is speaking to him, telling him how much all of them love him, this dude turns his camera on, reaches down onto his desk, picks up a handful of pills, and swallows them on camera in front of all of us. And immediately, everybody goes silent. And that dude that was just speaking, saying how much, everyone loved him, immediately kind of shifts gears, and he's like, yo, what did you just take? And this dude starts smiling, like maniacally smiling at the camera, right? And I'm like, yo, does someone know where he lives? And the owner of the Discord spoke up. He's like, yeah, I got it. And like, he muted his mic. I'm assuming he was calling the cops in that dude's area. But like this situation was so stressful because none of us lived near him. It's not like we could just jump in the car, drive a couple blocks, pull up to his house, throw him in the car and drive him to the ER. Like we couldn't do any of that. We were just helpless essentially on Discord. But luckily this dude, the owner of the Discord, knew his address. So he called the sheriff's department in that dude's area and got cops to like dispatch to his house. I know this because after he unmuted his mic, he was like, all right, I called the cops. They're on the way. Like, dude, stay on Discord with us. And he did. The kid, like, kept his camera on. He stayed on Discord. He was talking to us, like, engaging with us. But it was really creepy because, like I said, he, like, took these pills. He smiled at the camera. And then, like, every interaction after that was really, really, like, just unsettling. Like, he kept smiling at the camera. He kept, like, laughing when people would show concern about him. It's like he really, really just gave up on life. And it was in a concerning, like, manner, the way he, presented it. Anyway, he stayed on Discord with us, which is good. He didn't pass out. He didn't go unconscious, which is good. And the cops pulled up with, like, paramedics and stuff. They showed up at the exact same time. Paramedics came into his room. So did the police. And we saw this all on camera. They like checked him out. Then they put him on a stretcher and sent him to the hospital. And he just left his camera on. For the rest of the night, we played CSGO and this dude's camera was just his chair. It was just a DX Racer with nobody in it. And we were all left wondering what the hell was going to happen. Because like, obviously it was a good sign that he didn't pass out on Discord or like die on camera. But we didn't know what was going to happen. We didn't know what he took. We didn't know anything because he wouldn't tell us. And the whole next, 4 hours, I'd say, we just didn't know anything. And finally, the owner of the Discord, the dude that called the sheriff's department, the one that knew his address, knew enough about him, got an update. The update was actually from him himself. He called this motherfucker on FaceTime while he was in the hospital bed, being treated for an overdose. And essentially said, yeah, I'm okay. I didn't take enough to do any serious damage, and I'm going to be fine, but they're going to keep me, obviously, for psychiatric help. And yeah, the dude basically unmuted his mic, told us that he talked to him on FaceTime, that he was in the hospital, being evaluated, and he was going to be kept for mental health reasons. And yeah, they kept him for 2 weeks, which honestly, pretty long time, but also not long enough, it feels like, for a serious situation like that. But I guess every case is different, it all depends on the mental health of the patient. I feel like some people can leave earlier than others. Others have to leave later. But he was good. He didn't die. He didn't hurt himself too bad. From what I heard, he didn't do any serious irreversible damage. And things were good. I actually kept in touch with everybody in that Discord for weeks and weeks after that because I was so concerned about this dude that I didn't even know. It just felt like, I don't know. I just wanted him to be okay because nobody should go through that. But yeah, guys, in the end, he got the help he needed. He came back. He was actually in that Discord very frequently playing games with them after the fact, and he seemed a lot better, much more happy, much more, in good spirits. And also, another good part of this happy ending, I looked into everything before I made this video. I actually went back in that Discord, because I'm still in it to this day. I just don't join the VC or talk in the chat. But I saw them in there talking, and I went in there before I made this video, and was like, hey, can I talk about this story on my channel? And they were like, yes, just don't name names. And I'm like, okay. And he was in there, and he was completely fine with it, and he's doing great. So he's probably watching this. So shout out to you, dude. I won't name you because you asked me not to, but you know who you are. Shout out to you. Glad you're okay. And moral of the story is, guys, reach out to your homies if you ever need an ear to talk to. And be open with the way you're feeling, man. I know, it sounds corny to be like, oh, talk about your feelings. But, dude, talk about your fucking feelings. It's 2024. Don't hold that shit in and struggle alone. You'd be surprised with how many people relate to you. And, I'm one of them, dude. Your boy's fucking depressed, okay? I got anxiety, depression, OCD. I got a million fucking problems. But guess what? I tell people about them, and they have them too. And we relate, and we laugh about them, and build bonds over it, and just, are open about it. Because it helps. It just helps to get it off your chest and talk about it. So, be honest with your friends. If it's not your friends, you don't want to talk to them, talk to your parents. Just talk to somebody you're comfortable with. It doesn't have to be a specific person, just somebody you are comfortable with. Yeah, that's the moral of today's story time, guys. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this story time. Definitely a pretty serious / crazy one. If you enjoyed it, leave a like on the video. I'd really appreciate it. Feel free to leave your story times in the comments down below. And subscribe if you're new. I'll see you guys all later. Peace.